Welcome back to one of the best episodes we get to do. This is Homesick Philly Bros, presented by AML Media. I'm all jacked up. I love you, Mom. I love the Eagles. Words aren't coming out because we're going to the goddamn Super Bowl, people. Homesick Philly Bros. I'm Gene Labordi. That's my brother Steven Labordi, and our awesome producer and all the other things that we can't do, Rachel Labordi. I'm so hyped. Before I forget, Rachel, where can the people find us?
We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Patreon. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website for all of our direct links. The website is aml.news.blog.
Well done, Rachel.
Everybody's in top form.
Rachel's in top form. The birds are in the best form you could be in. And I'm all hyped up. It's been such a awesome... This is just a week out now. It's crazy that at this time of the year, I get to have a smile on my face on a Sunday, not because the birds won, but because we already won and we're going to the biggest game that you can get to.
Yeah. Who would have saw this last season?
We get to eat hot roast beef sandwiches tonight. And cheesy potatoes because I was missing my mom's. And I was like, what would she eat on a Sunday? And that's what she would eat. And then we're going to watch a good TV show, and we get to just...
Well, it's one less week.
Relish in victory.
Yeah, I've been relishing all week.
I smell like pickles. I've been relishing so hard.
It's one less week where we don't have to talk about the off season yet, and it's beautiful thing.
And it's given us a very good reason to go back and not be homesick anymore. We're gonna go to Philly.
Yeah,
we got to figure out the plans. And any fans out there, if you have a sweet penthouse down, in the city, just invite us over. We'll be good. We'll give you good banter. We'll break down every play for you, and then we'll go out and party.
Yeah. And if you put us up, we'll do a pod from the place.
I would do whatever you want besides sexual stuff, because I'm married. I'm not allowed to do that anymore. But Steven will do whatever you want to let us be in your penthouse.
Almost anything.
Pretty much everything, as long as you're clean.
So if you haven't heard yet, the Eagles beat the 49ers, all their quarterbacks, 31-7, and we're Arizona bound, baby.
We're going to the desert for fun. Usually when we go to the desert, it sucks because I'm not a hot weather person.
We actually haven't been that great in Arizona historically. You're right. But this is different. This is a totally different game.
This is a... before we get to and see, I'm so excited. We're all over it. So, gut reactions, do you ask? What was my gut reaction? We're going to the goddamn Super Bowl. I cried a little bit when we won. That was my gut reaction. Once we won. But it was a weird game at first.
Yeah. My gut reaction was this team's not even playing at their top level, and they look really, really hard to beat.
So let's start from the beginning there. The first quarter was rough. It felt like it took 3 hours. We smoked like 12 cigarettes, basically, because there were so many breaks. And this is the third time in a week I can say I have never seen this happen in the NFL before. That ball hit the wire, by the way, the punt.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we think.
Let me put it this way.
The cameras couldn't confirm it. It would have just been incredibly hard to get the whole Eagles sideline to agree to fake that the wire and the football collided, and they all pretended. So that didn't happen.
And, and the cameras all jostled, and they were like, oh, because they're trying to follow the ball. I get you can't prove it, but can't you? Really? I mean, I'm sure refs were like, oh, that ball hit the wire. And I get you have to have it on footage. And this was at a point where...
It was still close.
It was still close. It was still like, we're not sure what the hell's going to happen.
I will say, at the time I was with you, this is bullshit. It's rigged. They want the Niners. But thinking back on it, we got that non-catch on the first drive. Devontae Smith definitely bobbled that ball and it hit the ground. So it evened it out, is what I'm saying.
This is a smart play. Okay,
Definitely.
he knew.
They coached
Listen,
that, and Sirianni admitted they coached the players to do that.
This is his second year. Devontae Smith going. First of all, just to get one hand and bring it in was fucking awesome looking. I'll get a poster of that. Rachel, we're getting one of those fat heads. I'm gonna get however tall he is going to be in my bedroom and sleep next to him.
It was a really cool picture.
Because he's completely stretched out. But to immediately, I don't know what this means, but this, I think, is signal for, I didn't catch it, guys. Get up on the ball as fast as we can.
Yeah, hurry up.
But yes, so shit was, we were flying high, but then there was like...
The whole day was weird in both games. There was weird officiating.
Yes.
Just choppy.
It's funny, and I don't know if it's... Sorry to cut you off. I'm all excited. I wasn't on Twitter last year. And I'm sure it's happened, but I think just with more social media, it's happening more and more. I love how just every time, like if you were a team in the playoffs, when your team loses, everyone's like, NFL's rigged. All this stuff coming out about players coming out with the script. They get the script.
Yeah, who's that one ex-player who said literally, that they actually got a script?
I don't buy it for a second. How can you plan to be like, all right, guys, you're going to have a late game comeback with a 50-yard catch?
Well, here's the thing. The reason it definitely couldn't be rigged is because some players don't make a lot of money and some players make a lot of money.
Yes,
and those guys that don't make a lot of money be like, bullshit.
Yeah.
Why is he always in the script?
In camp, if you're every person that gets cut would be like, there's scripts, guys.
And how many times have you seen players destroy their knees and necks and get concussed?
Yeah.
You think they would
If
just
there was
be
a
like,
script,
oh, that's in the script?
If there's a script, Kaepernick wouldn't be talking about, I didn't get a fair chance. You go, I'm going to blow up this fucking league because I still have this script.
The only people that have an acceptable reason to think the NFL's rigged, they're wrong, but people who get beat real bad on betting, which is your own fault.
Yes.
It's your own fault.
You're right. Good point.
But I can understand why some of them are like, these last-minute field goals that just ruin my under bet or whatever. I can see why they're like, this shit's rigged. Fucking Vegas made the call. Too much money came in on such and such a team. We need them to make it 3 more points.
Now, listen, I'm sure, and it's, you talk about documentaries, not to get too far off, but like, in basketball in the 80s and stuff, the mob threatening players, be like, you're not going to make 30 buckets tonight.
That Donahue guy was actually fixing the ref.
Yeah. Well, so that, but in the NFL, it's impossible. So just stop being a sore loser. Listen, we have been through some terrible seasons with the Eagles. We go, be a good fan. This is why people hate Phillies fans. We're realistic. We go, fuck, we suck.
Just take it on the
Take
chin.
it. Don't blame it on the...
And quite frankly, I don't even want it in my sphere of influence, because if it came out that the NFL was rigged,
our lives would be...
I mean, it would be like it would be like a piece of my soul.
Stop taking everything away from the guy, okay?
Just stop. I had to quit
All
drinking.
he has is coffee, cheese, and chocolate in the NFL.
And football.
If you take the NFL away, you're cutting a quarter of this guy's life out.
Yeah.
He won't know what to
Might as
watch.
well just put me out in the trash.
Yeah, you're gonna start fucking. At that point, I'm like, guess I'm a wrestling fan now.
Well, I'll say, at least I know this.
At least
is
I
fake.
know for a fact.
But if the NFL is rigged, it's the greatest scam
in the world,
in the history of the world. Because these guys get fucked up real bad playing this game.
There's so many. There's 53 men on a roster.
It's just not.
Some of those people don't even see the field. They have a whole roster of practice people that are like scrounging to just stay in the game, losing family members and shit. And look at it. There's more training staff than most office buildings have employees. So it's just, don't be a sore loser. Your team lost. There's next year.
If you can't watch football and see that it's chaos and there's no way it can be scripted, you've clearly never played a team sport.
And if they're that good at acting, these guys would have more of a personality than they do.
Yeah, for real, Jason Kelsey's brother, Travis Kelsey.
But so still in the gut reactions, obviously we're giddy.
This is 2 games. 2 games where we didn't even have to stress. This game was close in the beginning.
That's 3 games, buddy.
No, we had a bye week.
Oh, 3 weeks. You're right. Well, what you said earlier is like we don't know if in the history of our life we'll ever get to have a stress-free kind of playoff.
And we had 2 games, and yeah, you're right. The bye week, we don't have to stress that either. It's been a beautiful ride, and I said to you before the playoffs, I said, if this team somehow gets into the Super Bowl, we have to stamp it now. This is a successful season.
Yes.
We didn't expect to be. I mean, we got smoked in the playoffs last year.
Listen, we've done so good that they brought a man who's well-deserved, doesn't need any more accolades, out of retirement. Ray Diddy loves his team so much. He goes, this has been such a magical year. I got to get back into the game.
The team, even he's willing to admit, this is the best Eagles team that's ever been put on a field. If they win the Super Bowl.
I can't wait.
He's already working on his new Eagles encyclopedia. If they win the Super Bowl, it's already in the works.
I can't wait to add that book to my book of looking ats.
Like, you're basically cataloged with some words in them. But that's okay. That's what a coffee table book collection is.
And I have 2 sections now. One, when you walk into my house, you go, that's a cool book on tanks and the Eagles encyclopedia. And then you go in my living room and you go, that's a cool book on World War II and another Eagles book.
Can't have too many books.
No.
So, yeah, gut reactions is fuck yeah. Remember going to the game, I was like, either this is going to be a close game where either team will win or we'll blow them out. There was no chance they were going to blow us out. And you could say they got a raw deal because their quarterback's getting hurt. Both of them got hurt. So you got to give us some credit for doing that.
Listen, 49ers fans out there, okay? It's weird San Fran has a good football team.
It is a historic franchise.
Okay. Well fought. The players didn't give up. As much as I hate them, Kittle showed class. He kept going. You guys, Hassan Reddick broke your quarterback's elbow because he's a football genius. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to you guys. It was all good until you guys got outclassed by apparently the Eagles or the Philadelphia is so unclassy. Well, look what your fucking team did in the end of the fourth quarter. At third quarter, I go, we're winning this game. Look, they're still in it. They're down. They were about to put their running back, a quarterback. I was like, I feel bad for 49ers fans until you guys started acting a fool.
Lost their composure.
You guys started acting a fool, and you deserve to have lost that much. At first, I go, damn, it's hard to be a 49ers fan. After that, atrocious.
This is what you get.
That's what I say. I go, pff. That's how I felt. But yes, so we're going to the Super Bowl. You classless team are not. And also, who would want to watch that? Purdy is out for a long time now. You want to watch a 4th-string quarterback in the Super Bowl?
No, that's why the NFL's rigged and they didn't let them win.
Although, Christian McCaffrey, you're good.
Yeah,
and it would have been kind of fun to have them scramble to put together a wildcat. That's what they'd have to do, right? If they went to the Super Bowl.
All joking aside, that team, if any team, could pull off a win if they had 2 weeks to prepare, knowing they didn't have a quarterback. But it doesn't matter because they lost.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
It wasn't even close.
Their defense is very good. That's the best defense in the. I got to say, it's the best defense we've faced by far. Maybe the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
But then we scored 31 points on it, so now the Eagles are the best defense in the league. Oh, man.
Quite frankly, if we can score 31 on San Francisco because their defensive players weren't hurt.
Nope.
I mean, we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl, but it bodes well for us moving forward. So let's
we'll get into last week and a half, whatever, last episode, when we were preparing for the 49ers game, doing our Who You Got, you had Jalen Hurts with 2 rushing touchdowns, and then I had Goddard, I believe I said 2 touchdowns for him.
Yeah.
We both were wrong. Yours was a lot better than, I don't know.
It's not that we said during the episode that I don't get a brownie point if Jalen gets 1 rushing touchdown because it's pretty common. So he had to get 2 for me to hit the mark, and it didn't happen. So we both whiffed.
Yeah. Goddard did have the most receptions for the Eagles, but short yardage. 49ers defense was good. They shut down everything, and we've been saying, we find ways to win. We can do it multiple ways. Couldn't do it in the air. Jalen just didn't. I don't want to say he didn't have it. The 49ers were locked down. We didn't have wide open, wide receivers or anything.
Yeah, but Jalen missed a few deep balls.
He did.
He didn't look great.
Did not look great.
He didn't look great, and hopefully this bye week gives him a chance to heal up. It's got to be something going on with that shoulder because he is not missing deep balls at all.
The weird thing is, though, he's overthrowing. So I go, it's not his shoulder. I just go, maybe it is a little jitters.
Maybe.
Which
Either way,
I'm okay with.
Since he got hurt during the Bears game, he hasn't looked the same. But we can win with him playing at this level. We really can. I mean, I'm not worried about like suddenly he's got the yips and he sucks or something. It has to be that shoulder's banged up. He only threw for like 120 yards in that game, and the one catch by Devontae Smith was not a catch. So.
Well, it's funny. Someone came up to me in bowling, and he goes, was that a catch? I go, wasn't a catch until he was smart enough to get a hurry-up offense, and then we snapped the ball, and guess what? It was a catch now.
You're right. It was an athletic whatever.
Gesture? Athletic.
It was impressive for him to just make it look like he could have caught it and then have the wherewithal to get up and get everybody on the ball to run a play. I mean, was it against? No, but it was a great play.
And for everyone who is boo-hoo or, whatever, hating the Eagles, the ref that makes that call doesn't see, was blinded from the ball hitting the ground because of both players' backs were to him. So it wasn't refs giving him that call. No one's seen it until until later.
That one's on Shanahan. It's not on the refs. It's on Shanahan because, I immediately. Do you remember when it happened and he got up making the get on the ball, huddle up thing? I was like, he might not have caught that. It's a red flag, no pun intended. But if a receiver suddenly the receiver's calling the plays for the team, no, there's a reason he wants everyone to hurry up and get on the ball.
Even if you don't see it, no one in your headphones going, I don't think he caught it.
And fuck your timeout and challenge in the first quarter.
Yeah, this is
it was a fourth
NFC
down play, dude. At like our 35, if we didn't get that, you had 30 yards to go to get touched.
I just rewatched before this, and my butthole went into my throat. I know what happens, and Jalen's scrambling out to the left, which he's, is his weak point, and making that throw. And when that ball's in the air, it's like
you're nervous all over again.
Yeah, that's great. But
I will say this: the 49ers. I feel bad for the fans. That sucks. But don't be poor sports.
Don't be poor sports
because
about it.
You weren't going to win that game with Purdy. I'll take that, and I'll put $100 on it. We beat their ass.
And listen, if this was a 21-30, like even if you're in two possessions of the game.
You weren't scoring 30 on us.
Yeah, like even if you're, a 10-point game, maybe it's acceptable to do that in the third quarter, but not when there's 5 minutes left. All they were trying to do is like get someone kicked out for the Super Bowl.
They were getting fucking little crazy out there, tossing guys around.
And luckily none of us did because
no one took the bait. We didn't take the bait. And I get it. I could see the frustration.
Yes.
I understand, but you can't be punching at a guy way after the whistle or body slamming people.
When the dude literally...
Yeah, when Greenlaw was punching
dude, throwing haymaker hooks at the ball.
Yeah. Technically, it's not against the rules, but after the whistle...
I said the first two were cool. The last four weren't.
Yeah, and it almost got real ugly there.
Yeah.
So we're glad it didn't happen. And I feel bad for NFL fans who just were so hyped to watch that game, and then Purdy got hurt. And it was like, sorry, we have Hassan Reddick, and he's a killer. I mean,
and
bummer, guys.
We both, last episode, we were saying, like, if the Eagles aren't in that game, I'm going, it's fun to watch backup, Mr. Irrelevant, last draft pick. I'm going, dude, it would be cool to see
be rooting
this.
For it. Definitely.
But you faced the Eagles defensive line, and you broke your elbow. Sorry about that.
I guess I just want to clarify, nobody should be bitching that the Niners got a raw deal, because even if Purdy played the whole game, they weren't going to win.
They
just weren't.
We put up 31 points against a healthy defense. You guys aren't putting up 31 points against us. I'm sorry.
So yeah, our who you got picks were whiffs.
But I was right. We made Debo look like a D bitch.
Yeah, he
We shut him
nuts.
down. He's good, and we were like, no, you ain't.
Yeah. I mean, once you lose both your quarterbacks. By the way, Josh Johnson, it was like his 13th team.
13th team.
He's not
going to the third time he's been on the 49ers.
Yeah, he's not going to get another contract. I mean,
and we concussed. I mean, I never root for the concussion, but
you don't root for the concussion, but you want the opposing team's quarterback to get hurt.
Listen,
Let's be honest.
And we also took that ball from him. It didn't.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick should have had 2 takeaways. He literally ran around the offensive line, right in his face, and took the ball off of him while he was falling backwards. So we gave you a call there because we could have had the ball.
Yeah, that was like a mercy. Like, we're not even going to review it. You guys can
the Eagles were like, you guys can still have it. Just punt it.
Yeah, for real.
So let's get into the official recap. And she was a rundown of our injuries and lack thereof.
Another good week. Landon Dickerson, you saw the elbow, which you called on the spot.
Away.
Just a hyperextension. He's going to be stiff. He's going to be sore, but
they'll put the brace on him.
He's playing in the Super Bowl. Avonte Maddox was back in a boot at practice this week, but nothing came out about him that he's not going to be playing in the game. So, precautionary measure, whatever. He should be suited up.
And from someone who's had a lot of foot injuries and stuff, really sometimes 3 days in a boot can get rid of.
Just get that stability, get some healing, some blood.
Because it's not going to be. No one's 100%, so that's his one thing going on. So it's like we don't mentally, you know what you're doing. We don't need you going through walkthroughs.
And we need him out there because the strength of the Chiefs is the middle of the it's just Travis Kelce, and it'd be good to have Avonte. And he looked good during the game. He didn't look hobbled. He looked fast.
If Maddox can just shut Kelce down, we're gonna win that game by 3 touchdowns.
Dude, we're gonna break
next
it down,
episode.
But they're hurt. They have no receivers. They're all hurt. Anyway, the only injury that I'm concerned with is Jalen. We're not gonna find out. We'll never know how hurt Hurts is, but I don't think he's 100%, and that's not gonna change. It is what it is. Lane Johnson looks fine. He looks better than fine. So, dude, in a Super Bowl game, to be this healthy, it's not even fair. We don't have any excuses.
Yeah, you're a good point. We're not even going to get there. We'll cover that next episode. But
so, everything's good on the injury front. I guess we could break down the offense a little bit. Basically, we'll just say we just dominated them in the run game, and we didn't even have to throw the ball. And no turnovers again.
It sounds dumb, but the offensive line won us that game.
I mean, there's a lot of people who would say they've won us all our games.
Yeah, but that's why. Obviously they win.
But Jalen wasn't hitting deep balls. He was doing just enough. I think we rushed for 44 rushes in that game, which is unheard of in this NFL.
And it's everyone who knows a little bit about football is that run game. When you stick with it, it shows in the third and fourth quarter.
It sucks playing defense when you can't stop the other team's run.
And it's all so 3 running backs, it's
all those boys showed out. Kelce, Lane Johnson gave up 0 pressure, 0 sacks, 0 hits
against the defensive player of the year,
DPOI, which Hassan Reddick should at least be in that conversation, but he's not going to be. But anywho,
and also stop going back to not being sore losers. I know Bosa got hurt on the sidelines. It wasn't structural. He got a cut from a cleat, okay?
It was a deep gash.
Yes.
But not something I should hold him out.
Yeah, it wasn't his meniscus. It was, I got an ouchie boo-boo. So you can't say, oh, well, he wasn't full strength. He was going against a guy who Lane Johnson's abs aren't attached to his legs basically right now.
I really wish, no one can really explain how he's doing what he's doing.
Adrenaline and badassness.
I mean, he's great.
Whole grain, beef-fed American.
He is American as fuck. It's a shame. On a quick little side tangent, if it wasn't for his 2 suspensions, for juicing. He would definitely be a Hall of Fame conversation kind of guy.
Will that take him out of it?
It's not supposed to, but you know how it goes.
He wins his Super Bowl.
He would have to play 3-4 more years at a Pro Bowl level. He doesn't have the he doesn't have the because you have to have the Pro Bowls, which is stupid. You have to have the All Pros. Like if you put Kelsey's resume next to Lane Johnson's got like 3-4 really good years to match Kelsey, but we're obviously biased. I put him in Hall of Fame yesterday, but it's just a shame because
Kelsey though definitely Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
I know it's hard. It's like hard. It's hard to get in the Hall of Fame as an offensive lineman, right? You just have to do it at the craziest high level
for a long time.
There's so many offensive linemen out there,
and you have to get recognition somehow.
There's 5 really good wide receivers every year, and if you do that for 5 years,
But I think Kelsey's at like 5 All-Pros now, so that pretty much is when you make All-Pro teams, especially at his age.
Oh, I hope he has the beard when they do the
bust.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah. Well, we'll do a Kelsey appreciation episode after the Super Bowl.
Once our sideline passes come through.
Yeah,
sir.
For real.
Someone got my jersey. Must have got lost in the mail.
Yeah. I think Jordan Mailata on tape probably had his best game in a long time. Landon Dickerson's just, he's good pass blocker, but he's a beast run blocker.
Yes.
He just mauls people.
He just walks forward. I was watching just this recap before, and he looks like he's just kind of pushing a grocery cart, dude.
He looks like almost like he's not even cognizant of the play call. He's just like a mauler. He's a classic mauler. Another Pro Bowler. Our offensive line is just disgusting. And the way that they execute, it's not just big. Yes, they're big and strong, except for Kelsey, but they execute. They're double teams. They get to the second level almost every play, which if you've never played offensive line, it's not that easy. Just because you know where you're supposed to go doesn't mean you can execute, because it takes 2 to tango.
And you know how fast NFL cornerbacks are?
Yeah, and linebackers run 4.5, dude. It's like
to get your hands on one of those little guys, and you're seeing someone who's like 6'8", almost 380 pounds, be able to catch up to a cornerback. Dude,
just to move,
it's insane.
Just to move these D linemen off the ball is a feat in and of itself. But to have 5 guys who can do it, it's unheard of. And it's interesting. You hear a lot of talk about why are so many teams struggling to put an offensive line on the field that's competent. It's just because defensive players are the freakier athletes.
Mm-hmm.
They get paid
when you're
better.
at that level, when you're high school and shit, even in college, sometimes they make that move. If you're like, 5-star prospect high school offensive lineman, and then you get to college and you start working out like crazy and you get fast, they go, let's try and move you to defensive line.
The best athletes will play. The most impactful players will play on defense.
Yeah, if you can't be a wide receiver, a quarterback, or running,
on the line
if
of
you're
scrimmage.
a big man, and then all of a sudden you're a freak athlete, well, you're playing defense.
And
for us.
it's easier.
Yeah,
to
actually
go out and ball. Offensive line, you gotta really be on your P's and Q's.
And you gotta say, it's a thankless job. When you play defense, you can get your name called. No one ever goes, did you see on the announcements, no one goes, did you see the block by left guard?
Growing up, nobody says, I want to be that white guy.
I want to be a right tackle.
Yeah. So, it's a special thing we have going on. The only thing
we got to give Stout, our offensive line run game coach.
Just got his contract extended. Did you see my tweet?
Yes. I actually took a picture on my phone to remind myself to say it during this episode. And it seems like he had offers somewhere else.
Dude, he can probably coach wherever he wants.
And he goes, I love Philadelphia.
I got a good thing here.
He does. We love you, dude. We love you.
Yeah, what other city are you going to get all this hype and adulation as an offensive line coach?
And it's
nowhere.
It's nice knowing he's here because I love having a team that our trenches are our strength.
Yeah.
Even in our bad years, we at least can always say we tried to build inside out, and I think that's
the most impressive. We can thank Andy Reid for that. He really started that for us. But you're the enemy this week.
You're the enemy this week, but I will shake your hand after we win.
Yeah. And then shout out to the backs on the offensive side, all three of them. Again, offensive line.
We're going to have some good conversation in the offseason.
Yeah, some tough decisions.
Just out of that core.
Check this out, though. There's a bunch of people, even Jerry Jones came out and said the Eagles emptied the bucket. They need to win it this year because blah, blah, blah. The Rams did it. Now look at the Eagles. You're an old fool. You clearly don't know the actual situation. Check this out. We were talking earlier. We have 2 first-round picks. We got all the rest of the draft is next year and the year after. Look good. We got our picks, but more importantly, on offense, 10 out of the 11 starters have all been drafted by the Eagles. So if you mean we emptied the whole bucket just by getting A.J. Brown, I don't know what you're talking about, Jerry.
And then we stole Hassan Reddick. We stole him.
Well, he wanted to come home, bro.
He wanted to come home.
We just embraced him. Bring it in. No big numbers.
What a bitter old man. He can take your billions of dollars and just die before you win a Super Bowl. Yeah, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I do. He's starting to get a little desperate.
Yeah,
and he's great for the league. He's great for the Cowboys, but we're Eagles fans, so you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I
want him to live forever and stick around because as long as the Dallas will be the same thing.
Yeah, keep pumping a bunch of money into your dumb big jumbo screens.
Yeah.
And your
Jerry World Stadium and your fucking Chernobyl ass. Anywho. Not much else to say. Jalen threw for under 150 yards. No turnovers was a big thing. Again, what we said, if we don't turn the ball over, there's no chance they're going to beat us.
That's the playoffs, right?
That's most football games, but definitely
the
when
playoffs,
it's an even match like that.
Turnovers are the death of the game.
It's the only way a bad team can beat a good team.
Yes, well put.
Yeah. So that's about it. We've scored 69 points in 2 playoff games.
We scored 3 touchdowns 2.5 I'll call it, but 2 definite touchdowns. Running the ball, the running back didn't even get touched.
Yeah, Miles was like
didn't even get touched.
But yeah, 69-14 in 2 games. That's pretty good.
I'd say I like those odds.
I'll take that. Let's talk about the defense because this is the fun part.
This is we're gonna start off with the obvious.
Give us the obvious.
Hassan Reddick is the coolest guy right now.
Can you just come on?
Can I buy you a beer? Come on, dude.
Quiet hometown, Camden, New Jersey kid playing for the team he grew up rooting for,
and just.
Game wrecking.
We're stealing balls, breaking elbows, doing it, and then just go on the sideline and be like, hi, guys, I'm Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, you saw the most emotion out of him on the sidelines this week, and then also he's a really understated, like, low-key kid.
This dude just loves football.
But he's basically out there like, yeah, this is my shit.
Yes. Read the dude.
How is he a free agent?
That's why I said, dude, we stole him. Come on now. There's so many people out there. And once again, it's his hometown, so I don't know if other teams could have got him.
Of course they could have.
Nanny boo-boo to every other team that wanted him or thought or
even the teams that were like, we're not sure how to use him. Let's not re-sign him. What are you, stupid? The guy's got 22 sacks in the season.
I guess you guys don't know how to use sacks on your team.
Just let him rush the passer. Again, like we said, defense is the simple thing. Like, just let him go rush the passer. But he's actually on film. He plays the run well. He sets the edge. He's no BG. But I'm gonna forget. So I'm gonna say right now, Trent Williams is considered the best left tackle in all football. People say it without even a hesitation. He got beat up a couple times in this game, and Brandon Graham bull rushed that motherfucker twice, where it was like,
you salty little bitch, Trent Williams. I'm looking at you.
If you're gonna body slam him, don't go after Kayvon Wallace.
You know why you did that? Because you said, "Damn it, everyone just seeing I shouldn't be getting paid as much as I am." You sorry fool.
And it's just strange that people say without hesitation he's the best left tackle in the game.
Really? Because our defensive line made you look like a fool.
BG's
you dumbass.
Yeah, BG's like 6'1", and he fucking anywho
got in your head. He was so scared.
Hargrave. had an incredible game. This dude
has been great all season.
And
then
sign him, Howie. You know what to do.
Dude, he's just doing this.
His pass rush moves from the interior are unbelievable. And he
good.
And he can set, like, he's not the biggest guy. Fletch is way bigger than him. But in double teams, he holds his ground and props up and does what
he holds his gap. That gap is going nowhere.
Yeah. And the 49ers couldn't do it. Their defensive line couldn't do it. I'm just saying, this guy he's got.
That's got to be a re-sign.
Got to be a re-sign.
And then also, I noticed these things when we were watching the Bengals Chiefs game. Someone had a sack, and they tried to steal Hargrave's thing.
With the kick through.
I don't know. I think he makes a door and kicks it through. That's Hargrave's thing. Don't take it away from him.
If we did our research, it'd probably be like, Bruce Taylor used to do that or something. But yeah, in the
when you have as many sacks as he has, then you can.
He's really special.
Yeah,
he's really and it's not just my opinion. Like guys I respect to do film breakdown. It's not just the numbers. Baldinger.
We got him from the Steelers, right?
Yeah, and I heard on Steelers Sports Talk Radio the other day that they were saying because they need some help on both their lines. They were saying we need to get. Because he's a free agent, they want to re-sign Javon Hargrave.
Once you have success in Philly, you think he's going to come to this ho-dunk town?
It's after you win a Super Bowl. You know what? That's going to be a tough one because he has had the kind of season where he's going to want
money,
the bag, as they say. But we'll see.
We're other episodes.
What else on defense?
Blankenship showing up again. It's great having this
fumble.
Guy came out of nowhere and has been nothing but stellar for us. Really love watching him. It's something that we might
undrafted kid.
Coming out showing. It's a great storyline there.
He's always where he's supposed to be.
Our big money cornerbacks held it down.
Bradbury was excellent in this game. Excellent. And like your typical fan
against good. Once again, no quarterback.
That's what I was going to say. Your average fan's going to say, oh, our quarterbacks were hurt.
The wide receivers not hurt.
If you watch the tape, they still got to cover these wide receivers.
Yeah, they're still running routes.
Yeah. So, Slay and Bradbury both had good games. But Bradbury, I'm not going to go there. Not off-season for the off-season. But they were good.
Very good. Once again, we let up 7 points in an NFC Championship game. Quarterback, no quarterback, I don't care. We let up 7 points. What else is there to say?
Backups got to play again this
week. Dude, I need to know. I got to research this. Has any team ever had all of their backups play in the fourth quarter of 2 fucking playoff games?
It's unbelievable.
An NFC Championship? I highly doubt it.
It's a special thing.
Man.
It's so much different than 2017.
Do you think when we win the Super Bowl that the time machine will come out and then we can just keep reliving this year over and over again?
Probably not. So let's enjoy it while it's here. So yeah, what else is there?
I'm going to tell my grandkids in 2023, we are backups in.
That's how you're going to talk?
Where's my cane?
We got to give a shout out to Linval Joseph for picking up that fumble.
So that's a veteran thing. I mean,
on mic'd up, you could hear that Fletch was yelling,
pick it up.
Pick that up. Pick that up. It's a fumble. Pick it up. But
it's
Linval
funny watching it because he's a big boy. Him picking that up. I feel like when he picks up a football, he goes.
Who, Linval?
Yeah,
he's a monster. He's played so well. How was he just sitting around waiting
and picking that ball up and watching him run? It's like, I wanted the whistle not to blow because I wanted to see if someone could actually tackle him.
They could. And although Christian McCaffrey can do anything, so maybe him. Special teams. Elliott kicked the field goal. Brett Kern hit a wire. But our coverage teams held up, which I was worried about. They have a good return. That McLeod kid can return, so we slowed him down.
You know what I noticed? I think the first punt wasn't Covey. The first punt return.
They put Devontae back there a couple times. Devontae Smith.
Did they mention why or anything?
No, he's done it a few times. I think they just wanted a spark.
Okay, just a pot. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like we used to do with Deshaun.
Okay,
but
so it wasn't anything like they're shaky on Covey or anything.
No, okay. Covey's just a guy who goes back there and catches it. Okay, you want a big play.
But Devontae, they're like maybe a return.
Yeah, and he's not going to.
So I guess depending on well,
it was still close then, and but we got the spark. We came out and scored a touchdown, which I'm not. Again, did they accept the coin toss? Did we win the coin toss and choose the receiver?
I don't know. I was pooping.
It's fucking annoying. We need to know these things.
You need to get here earlier because I'm pooping then. I gotta get the nervous.
Often.
I gotta get the nervous poops out.
I hear you. I was almost throwing up for that. So yeah, there's a chance Sipas might punt in the Super Bowl.
I was gonna say because Kern has had not this game, but the Giants game had some terrible punts.
Yeah, and you hit the wire. Don't hit the fucking wire, dude.
Also, why is that wire there? The camera needs to get the fuck out of the way. There's 100 other ones on the ground. Okay, we're gonna be okay.
That wire's there because Fox says it goes there.
That's on Fox.
They pay a lot of money. So let's get into the Bum and the Beasts. Bum Beast. This is my favorite segment.
The Bum and Beasts.
Yes.
Once again, a hard one. This is a sweet problem to have.
For all the right reasons, it's a tough one.
This is a sweet one. And we both agreed on your bum. I changed mine for the fans. Make a good show. So my bum was Epps.
Tell us why.
Could you just wrap up? Christian McCaffrey doesn't go down on shoulder tackles.
Yeah.
Okay? I get what you're doing.
Great run by McCaffrey.
Great run against a very, very good runner. But you looked like a little bit of an idiot. Yeah. The only points they scored, busted it for, I think it was 23 yards.
It looked like he went 60 because he should have been taken down like 3 times. It was an unbelievable run.
I think it was a third down, too.
Like, that'll be on the best plays of 2022.
Yeah. I mean...
but Epps, listen, this is the problem. The reason I vehemently agree with you, we played so well, it's hard to pick a bum. Yes. Wouldn't you agree in a different game we wouldn't even mention this play, really? But Jonathan Gannon had him exactly where he needed
to be.
He had Epps. He was right in the hole, unblocked. That should have been a 0-yard game. And we won shutouts.
And it was like head-to-head. It wasn't, I see when it's near sideline or there's an angle or something. That was head-to-head. You just threw your shoulder.
And he was contained at the line of scrimmage still. Like
on both sides, too.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was literally a tunnel. Epps, you do your job, you come and tackle. I believe there was a third down play.
I think he would agree with you, too, Epps. I think he would agree with you. Because C.J. Gardner-Johnson missed tackle there. Again, trying to dive with his shoulder. But that was in the open field. When you got a guy contained, you got to bring him down.
Wrap, get an ankle, let someone else come in or whatever, just...
Yeah. But we like you still, Epps.
Yes. I don't want you to... Yeah.
So, give me your beast.
My man, I'm talking about him all this show. Hassan Reddick. Could you just... Come on, man. It's awesome.
It's so fun to watch.
What
was that, like the 4th play of the game or something?
Dude, yeah.
Game over.
And as soon as it happened, first of all, we both called it before the TV announcers. We were like, that's a fumble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I think what they do, sorry, but we like to educate the viewers. The refs have made a concerted effort, and I think the league as a whole has decided, like, on plays like that, call it incomplete, and we can overturn it.
Okay.
But if you call it on the field as a fumble and the other team picks it up and runs it back or whatever, we can't renege on that.
Mm-hmm.
So if it turns, you know what I mean?
And that's a hard one because his arm was torqued. So
the only reason it looked kind of like a pass is because his stupid UCL got torn and his fucking noodle arm just flopped out there.
But he fumbled off his wrist. The ball came out and somehow his wrist pushed it forward.
Yeah, that one wasn't borderline. That was a clear fumble.
And it's just the way he can get that arm, dude. The bend, they call it. The dude looks like when he's bending, it looks like those professional motorcycle racers, how they can like get on their knees and elbows touch the ground. Dude, he gets so low, and we've seen and talked about
try to tackle the quarterback. He goes for the arm of the ball.
Yeah, and that's what we're paying you to do, and you're doing it well. But yeah, and just so there's times where he's fallen and like fucking push up himself straight vertical again. It's crazy.
Yeah, he gets off the ground real quick, doesn't he?
Yeah,
you notice that?
Yeah, it's like a dog, man. It just pop.
It's annoying. Like, I wasn't born with any of that athletic talent. But I'm
glad you're here because if he was doing that to the Eagles, which people, defensive player of the year,
we saw a straight hand,
Bossa and shit. Yeah, it sucks when that's happening.
You have no shot when your quarterback doesn't have time to throw.
And shit, they were even starting to throw like, all right, let's give the right tackle some help and put a running back there. They didn't slow him down.
People were pissed off too because like guys in Philly too, just your obvious take are like, why would you have a tight end one-on-one with Hassan Reddick? It wasn't a pass set play. It was a bootleg play action with misdirection. Every team in the NFL does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because really the tight end's not supposed to be setting and like pass blocking. It's more of a misdirection chip type play where by time Hassan Reddick realizes what's happening, it's supposed to be too late. But I think Jonathan Gannon has unleashed this motherfucker. And he's like, because everybody knew coming to this game, the 49ers do a lot of motion, do a lot of misdirection, do a lot of zone plays where you got guys moving all over the place. And I think he just said to Hassan,
go get the quarterback.
Don't worry about the run, because you're always reading the linemen and shit. They were like, just go get the ball. Go after the quarterback. Because, I mean...
Listen, you're purebred.
This is what you do.
I'm going to let you do what you do.
And that's the mark of a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Let's,
Because some of these guys are so stern on, like, this is my system, this is how we do it.
And every coach says, you give me my players, I'll make my playbook. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I have a system.
Yeah.
And they'll play... Right. Good coaches have a system,
When
obviously.
you have a Hassan Reddick, you let him do Hassan Reddick
Gotta let
shit.
your purebreds run. So, yeah, we usually like to be, like, kind of creative and not obvious with the bums and the beasts. But this one is too big.
I will give a shout-out. It's funny because you mentioned, you're like, how many... I feel like Sanders hasn't had any carries. The carries he had made it count. And I'm going to give credit to our offensive line on that. That's an easy shout-out. We've already talked about it. 2 touchdowns for Sanders without even being touched. Great cuts he made, but it's like literally our offensive line. The play says push this guy 5 yards, and they go, all right, that's what, and then just push them 7 yards.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, clearly Sanders was a beast.
So for you, give us you know what? It's gonna be a little controversial, well deserved, but let's start with your beast first.
Okay, my beast is people inside Philly realize that this guy is superhuman, but I think outside of Philadelphia, people need to put some respect on Lane Johnson's name.
Put some respect on his name, people.
He's given up no pressures, no QB hits, no sacks this playoffs with a torn abductor, which is basically his groin's fucked up real bad. This is usually...
I don't think people, because of what he's doing, I feel like people are... Look up that injury, okay? It's not just some little thing.
No, this is usually instant surgery.
This dude, yeah, he's putting off surgery and playing at a higher level than any offensive line in the world is playing. Like,
there are guys that have broken down, like the Eagles' record with and without Lane Johnson. We're a completely different team when this guy's not on the field, going back years. And what he's doing, like people who know the NFL are shouting this guy's name from the mountaintops. But I think your average fan who doesn't really even give a shit about the offensive line, this guy, aside from your boy Hassan Reddick, he's like the MVP of the team for the playoffs.
Listen,
we need him.
Do this for me. Go get your biggest, best friend, and then have him run at you as hard as you can and try and stop him, okay? Tell him, let him just run straight, no tricks or anything, and see how hard that is. Now...
Do it 70 times.
that... And then cut off part of your abdominal muscle and see if you can do it. And then have a 300-pound monster man who's trained to do this one thing his whole life and was the defense player of the year. Let him try and do it to you. Then you'll appreciate how fucking awesome this is.
It's really unbelievable. If he wasn't hurt at all, he'd be performing at an elite level. But with the injury performing at this level, dude's just an absolute beast.
It's folklore, dude.
Unreal.
I'm going to be an old man.
It is kind of folklore. Yeah.
When I was a youngin'. But,
and also side shout out to Kenny Gainwell, who's been a fucking bright spot in these playoffs, both games. I mean,
we're going to have, I think in the all-season, we'll have segments we'll do just position breakdowns.
We'll have plenty
of time. The guys throwing some wrenches in a really good way.
Yeah. The whole backfield played well, Boston Scott.
But let's go to your bum. I said it's a little controversial. I don't think the real fan doesn't think this, but who's your bum?
It was Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the caveat is we played really well and won 31-7. So it's like there's a bunch of bums out there to pick from. But I think the eye test, he just didn't pass it this week. He missed some deep balls. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket. He started rolling out when the pressure wasn't quite there yet.
And let's be honest, best defense in the league we played against. So I can't take that away from him. But from what we've seen, and I think what we will continue to see, I think we have our franchise guy. Please God.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, after going through the Carson Wentz ordeal.
But yes, so
he hasn't looked himself.
He didn't look himself.
100 yards passing isn't really getting it done these days. But hey, I don't care how we win the Super Bowl.
And here's the thing. Once again, we mentioned this a lot. Like, I think he would put himself the bum of the game. And he's the type of person, what I like about him is, like he said, he goes, I don't laugh and smile till we win that Super Bowl. So he's like, I think he goes, I had a bad game. I'm going to get back at it. And Chiefs, you better watch out because I think you got a pissed off Jalen coming at you.
He's going to do anything to win that game.
You guys are going to have to murder him to stop him, I think. And, so.
But it was a little concerning. So
yes.
And there's no one else really to pick.
And to put, that's another great problem to have. But, so. Sometimes it's hard to say your quarterback was the bum of the game. It's a hard game to pick, but I think I kind of like him being the bum. I think he's got the characteristics to go, better watch out, man. I'm pissed off right now.
And he's got a week to heal up. So if it is injury-related, that should help.
Yeah.
So we're going to break down the Chiefs matchup next week.
Yes.
So let's... We're also going to break down the rosters. We're done for all the players. I think we should do that for every game next season. But yeah, we're going to kind of break down O-line, D-line, the two teams. We'll give them letter grades. But where do you want to go next? Should we just go with our wait what segment?
Wait. What? Yes.
This is because the NFL is our favorite story that we watch on the TVs.
As we call it, it's our man soap opera. Not soap operas.
No, you had it. It's a
soap operas.
It's
our man
for
soap
fellas.
operas. Just because not everyone's playing next week, we are.
There's always
There's
plenty
still
of
something
news,
going on. A lot of money in the NFL, so a lot of good things come about it. She doesn't like to say it, but I have to give her credit. She does a lot of hard work for us. Rachel's wait what that I'm telling is people are petitioning to get the Kelsey brothers' mom to do the coin flip.
Which I didn't hear that.
Which
that is
good inside ball.
That's
Rachel.
a news break.
Yes, good job. I don't think it'll happen. I don't know how I feel about
These guys
it.
got the NFL in the palm of their hands. It probably will
really
happen.
do.
The article that I read said over 100,000 people signed the petition, but it's very unlikely that it will actually have enough weight to do anything.
Realistically, 100,000 in the NFL in any spectrum, that's nothing.
The NFL are such whores for publicity, though. I feel like they would have been like, damn, we should have thought of that.
Well, no, all it'll take is, like an insurance company or Ford to be like, Ford coin flip presented by Kelsey's mom.
Is your mom willing to have a Ford logo?
If they can pump out a commercial fast enough, then it can happen.
For real. But that's interesting.
So, yeah, wait, what? What do you got?
That is a wait water. I got just some coaching movement, which there's a lot of controversy here because there's a lot of guys that are still playing football right now on coaching staffs, interviewing for a lot of these jobs, which is definitely not the greatest situation. But DeMeco Ryans, shortly after losing to the Eagles, is now the coach of the Texans. Frank Reich, we talked about.
DeMeco was an Eagle, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
But he started his career with the Texans. He was drafted by the Texans, so he's going back home.
That's Chris Long was, or not Chris Long. Or maybe it was. I think it might have been Chris Long. No, Bo Allen. Bo Allen was on a podcast saying how much he loved D'Amico Ryan. That when he said when he was a rookie, he was scared shitless, and D'Amico Ryan literally was playing his position for me. He goes, double team's coming. It's going to be weak side power strong run or whatever.
Right,
Straight up calling the plays. And so his whole rookie season, Bo Allen was like, I just got told what to do. And in the NFL, that's all. If you have that, you're going to be way better than everyone else.
Yeah, well, and that's why he's been such a great defensive coordinator. And it's weird. It's worth mentioning. Like, people were pissed because the Texans fired Lovie Smith, and they've had 2 one-and-done black coaches.
Yeah.
Well, now that storyline's dead because this is the third black coach. And we'll see. But hey, you got a 6-year deal.
I want the Texans to get better.
I mean, I could give a shit about Texans, but I just want some of these old tropey storylines to go away. It makes.
I want a Texas team better than the Cowboys. I want another Texas team to take the fucking.
It's funny. The whole country loves the misery that the Dallas Cowboy fans feel.
Bowling update. That guy hasn't. I didn't go to bowling last Friday to rub it in his face that the Cowboys lost. He wasn't there last week or this week.
He's retired. He
so I mean, I don't know if he has anything but Cowboy dumbass jerseys.
Yeah, Daddy Row. Sean Payton is back in the league. Teaming up with Russell Wilson.
What was your note?
I put Peyton and Wilson homo tandem in Denver. So, that was my instant reaction to when I heard that deal. Listen, Wilson is a fucking weirdo. He's a creepy guy.
He is. Dude, what happened to him? I feel like out of nowhere.
He's always been that guy. But
Was he?
He got turned out once he got a supermodel celebrity wife, and he is just in his head.
He does that. He does things.
There's 2 kinds of religious people. Yeah. He's the wrong kind.
It's kids in high school that do things for attention but don't think people know they're doing it for attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the kid who would wear a knee brace over his jeans just to get asked what's wrong with your knee or something. Like the way he just comes out in the middle of the field before a game, puts his arms up. It's just
he's like a walking, talking stereotype. He seems like a guy who never had a personality. And it was just kind of told to him how he should be.
He was good enough in Seattle where I guess it slid under my radar.
I don't know. But it's a
Or maybe Pete Carroll was like, knock that shit off.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe Carroll was enough to call him on his shit.
Or maybe, because Seattle's kind of like its own little world. It's not really. They don't have a hyperactive media base and fan base. Like they're one of those cities where it's like we love you, and that's it.
I mean, yeah.
And then
any given time, there's hundreds of people crying in Portland for no reason.
Or smoking meth and do whatever. Portland's great. Seattle's great. Whatever.
You guys suck. I don't like you.
But now that once he got that deal to move to Denver, I think he became like one of the big stories in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the expectations were massive, and the cameras are just there now.
And to go to a team like Denver that has had a lot of historically great quarterbacks and shit.
Yeah.
So those. And Denver, I know this from The Ranch, the show. A lot of hard-working Cowboys out there that all they care about is their football team.
Yeah, that whole Bronco country thing, it only became a joke because Russell Wilson did it, but they take their football seriously out there.
There's not a lot going on out there, so that's all you got.
So listen,
that and the Nuggets.
He could fix it by playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton gives them the chance to do that.
It will be interesting to see from going from an atrociously terrible season for him. Sean Payton comes in and if they go above 500,
they have to.
You'll say, we'll see how good Sean Payton really is.
Yeah. A few more things. Harbaugh bailed out on Denver.
Yep.
He's back in Michigan. I don't know what this guy's deal is. Every season he's bouncing around.
We've said this before. I don't know why. I know the money and
he's a weird,
not even the money.
Speaking of weird guys, he's a weird guy too.
He is, and we talked about him. He's a mascot. He's not a coach. There's a lot of people like that in college football.
The whole alumni aspect of college sports, I don't know. If I went,
he was on a documentary. Walks in there. This was my dorm when I went here. Walks in, doesn't realize that one of his players is in that dorm room, and then just proceeds to not know his name. It's so awkward. Goes, did you get your physical? And he was like, yeah, coach. Like,
yeah, college.
It just went to
weird.
show like this, and I don't know who the player was or anything, but like it was like
No, it just gives you a good insight though into how college programs are run, and like how he's not really.
he's a Mike Tomlin type of thing. Like Mike Tomlin doesn't break down film. I don't know this, but like he's the person who speaks at the podium and throws the red flag when someone in his ear tells him to throw the red flag.
I got you.
Harbaugh is there to recruit and get the camera put in his face.
Well, that's quite frankly, recruiting is like 80% of.
But
college
and
sports.
his thing is, I'm going to come in your house. You see this ring? You want one?
I get it.
We get eight of our games are going to be on ESPN
He did
this
well
year.
in the NFL though.
He did.
So,
But dude, I can't imagine.
just stay at Michigan, make all that money. He's a god in Michigan.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You can walk around.
You know what it is? His brother has a Super Bowl. So
That's
he's
we
like,
were saying, yeah.
But a few more things, and I'm so happy that we didn't even have to mention this up until now. The only reason I'm mentioning it is because I'm so happy. Tom Brady's retired. And because we don't have a bunch of sponsors and we get to talk about what we want to talk about, we're not going to talk about Tom Brady's retirement. Bye.
Just because I'm your little brother and our whole life, you got to pick on me, and you know how to get my engine revving.
That's not kind of like sexual. Yeah, I know.
Not that way, guys.
He means under his skin.
Yes, under his skin. Nothing's going to piss you off more when you realize this guy's going to make more money out of the league just talking on television a little bit and playing golf and probably be on Pro-Am tours and get sponsored by Titleist. And then just his wife left him, so now he just gets to bang all of the puss.
He's such a fucking. He probably will only bang one puss though, because he's Tom Brady. I just don't. I'm just. And here's the thing.
In June,
I haven't.
when you're like, I really want to go golfing, and like, fuck, Dad threw out my clubs. Someone's just gonna give him a $4,000 pair of
throwing
clubs
them in the trash.
and yeah, he's just gonna be, getting his dick sucked while he's warming up at Augustus.
While he's getting more plastic surgery. Fucking guy. Here's the thing. He's the GOAT. Whatever.
He is
His
the GOAT.
podcast is called the Let's Go Podcast. Could you be any more of a fucking wanker, dude?
Also, you know what? I'm
Just
gonna
retire.
lay this gauntlet down now, and we're gonna do it on You Be Alright too. If you're fucking already famous, stop making podcasts, dude.
Can't let the little people have nothing.
Can we just try? We're in a basement right now. Okay, it's cold down here. Let us have this, okay? Tom Brady.
It is kind of ridiculous. Some of you guys that are like do 20 spots a day on ESPN now have a podcast. Immediately you're sponsored by Bud Light, and it's like you're ruining everything.
Can we just let the little guys have
You know
something?
what it is too? They'll never admit it, but they were jealous that people that don't deserve to get paid. Like, it really is that kind of power trip shit. We'll talk about the UBI because I can go down a long.
Yeah, we're gonna go down that cornhole.
I just want to say one more
Cornhole
thing.
net.
I didn't know this about Howie Roseman. When Andy Reid was the coach, Joe Banner was the president. You're talking the early days of like McNabb, like when he got drafted. Howie Roseman, in fact, is a Harvard grad. Good for you, but he never played football. He had no ins with the NFL anything. He wrote a letter every single day to Joe Banner and Don Smolensky every day for 2 years. And they would laugh about it. And eventually, they kind of like a joke. Let's see what this guy's all about. He's clearly crazy.
What?
And now look at him. I just assumed he was like Jeffrey Lawyer's.
Yeah, his nephew or some shit.
No.
Hey, respect. I just got a little
respect.
I feel like I can maybe do something now. Write some letters, guys. Hey, shit.
Not emails, letters.
I like it.
And
that just gave me a little more respect for the guy.
And he would spray a little cologne on him and give him a little kiss. But now 2 years every day. Not handwritten.
I'm going to say only 2 years now that he didn't just go right into the GM position.
No, he was like literally helped prep for like scouting reports. Unpaid.
Hey, you guys can chase your dream. We're chasing our dream right now.
I would honestly, I was shocked.
I can't believe I haven't heard that.
Me neither.
There's going to be a 30 for 30 on that.
Inside of Philadelphia, we love our football. You got to think nationally, no one gives a fuck about Howie Roseman, really.
But
although he will be in the Hall of Fame, speaking of Hall of Famers.
I was going to say, if he makes the Hall of Fame, listen, to win 2 Super Bowls under your belt and possibly
in
more.
5 years with 2 different quarterbacks and head coaches.
So, hey.
He's a guarantee. Executive of the Year.
So that's
anyway,
a quick 30 for 30. I'll watch that
Don't give
one.
up. Persevere. And this is the wrong podcast, but you're going to be all right.
You'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
I got to wait, real quick. Michael Parsons, Cowboys. Micah Parsons. Micah. I just assumed it was Michael because who names their
That's
kid
a girl's
Micah?
name.
Anywho, he was. It's our rival. He should hate us and hate that we're in the Super Bowl. Gave some love to Lane Johnson of saying you guys don't understand what he's doing right now, like we've talked about. So that's now we talked about. Maybe is he trying to do a little PR, trying to fix his
himself
image?
Look silly talking about Jalen Hurts as a system quarterback, but I think it's more like if you can't beat him, join him. He's already trying to hedge to get an Eagles contract. So,
yeah, he's like, hey, you guys got any room over there? Or?
Hey, Lane, remember like 4 years ago when I said how good you were doing?
Yeah.
Can I get Howie's number?
But you got any more Wait What's?
No.
Real quick, I caught a couple.
I think we're already at like an hour.
Yeah, a couple glimpses of the flag football game or whatever that they did. Did anyone watch? I don't know. The only thing I seen was they were making a for a fucking Pro Bowl flag football game. There was a controversial call. Did the flag get pulled off before CeeDee Lamb crossed the end zone plane?
God.
Who cares? Why waste the time talking about it?
We should have looked up like the Nielsen ratings or whatever and see how many people actually watched that game.
I don't even know if it was was it televised? People tell us.
Sure
I don't know. I wanted to see the games and stuff, but we're going to the Super Bowl, so I was like, fuck those other teams.
Flag football's fucking corny though.
But no, they were doing. I think they were doing.
I know they were doing longest drive competition.
But yeah, so they were doing like fun games. I wanted to see what they were.
I'd rather just watch the combine, but with the best players in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be more interesting than flag football and long drive competition.
But those guys wouldn't want to do that.
No, because they don't want to lose.
Yeah, well, not lose. They don't want to be like, I don't want a 4-5 anymore.
Plus, the next contract would be like, well.
It actually was a 4-7.
Right.
You got slower.
Yeah, they would never do that. You're right. Baseball's coming up soon.
We're gonna be
Go Phillies.
I had a guy the other at bowling said, "Damn, dude, I met some people from Philly. They were just Bolton. Never met them before. They were there just one time, and tell me about some spots around Pittsburgh that I'd like." And he was like, "Dude, we're gonna have a good team this year." And I was like, "You better know it, brother."
So speaking of which, I went to Dunkin' the other day, and the girl at the window was like, said into the back, she was like, "Hey, look, this is your boy." And I was like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" And there was some dude in the back, and she was like,
that was gonna be a girl being like, "Hey, your crush is here," or something like that. I thought so. Weird.
"Oh, no.
I was hoping that the Duncan girl had a crush on you.
Well, she would be fucking 17 anyway. It wouldn't be really a whole lot there. But that was just some like, black dude who was like not even paying attention. And he just looked at me and was like,
"Go Birds."
No, I didn't say nothing. It's so awkward. She was laughing, I was laughing, but he was like not interested.
He's at work. He's like, "Yeah, I'm from Philly. Cool."
She was basically like, he's an Eagles fan too.
I've had a bunch of people rolling up on me lately. "Go Birds." I'm like, "You're saying this now? I've been doing this forever."
There was a great debate on the radio the other day. Sports talk radio guys calling in saying like, is it acceptable to root for the Eagles? Because the Chiefs are always fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And Pittsburghers hate.
Maybe it's just because I have influence there, but a lot of the bowling people are like, "Dude, fuck the Chiefs. They got their Super Bowls."
Yeah, well, the guys on the radio and the people calling in that were like, no. Because it's like it's the big city, little city rivalry. I get it.
I get it.
I don't want the Pittsburgh to win.
But so Phillies are excited about that. 76ers.
Making their move, man.
Dude, they're doing something. We're getting back into shape, it looks like. So we'll have something good to talk about.
Trade deadline's coming up, so we'll have some stuff to talk about there, too.
Yeah, fuck. What's Kyrie
Irving?
Yeah, demanding a trade.
Yeah, I think he actually... I saw Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted that some moves, and I think he got traded to the Mavericks.
There's so much. Why do the Nets have so much controversy around them? It's like they never have a happy team there.
Because of Kyrie.
Is he the center?
He's always been a problem, dude. You saw the shit. He's just a problem. So I'm sure they like a lot of people are saying, oh, they shouldn't trade him. You know, they have a good team. I think if they get they want him out of there.
Yeah.
And they got Ben Simmons. They're fucked. Bro.
You guys are idiots.
You can apologize to us whenever you're ready. We told you what you were getting with Ben Simmons. I'm surprised he's still playing.
But once the Eagles win the Super Bowl, we'll have plenty to talk about. The Sixers, Flyers, actually doing a little bit better, but
they got a few years.
Yeah.
Let's just hope they stay on an upward trajectory. That's the thing. They keep
they were
being in a
supposed
rebuild.
to.
No, but for like the last 10 years,
yeah,
they'll go like every 3 years.
Have we had a good team since Lindros?
No.
And we've had good players. I feel bad for people like Claude Giroux and stuff. A great player just on a team that's never.
But he's got some culpability too. Those guys get a little too crazy and rowdy outside of the rink, and maybe they should focus on winning. If they were Russian players, Russian war
hockey players like that fun.
I'm sure they do, but you got to win too.
Yeah. Well, they don't get paid enough to just be like. Listen, they get paid just enough to be like, I can have a good bar tab.
You're right.
So,
yeah.
But we'll get into that. But that'll be us for us. A little long episode. Stay tuned for next week when we actually break down the Eagles versus the Chiefs. We're going to the Super Bowl. All you guys' teams aren't, except for Philly fans. Love you. Thank you for watching. I've been Gene Labordi. That's Steven Labordi. Hopefully she's still awake to do all the editing. Rachel Labordi.
Edit now.
But have a good week. And
Super Bowl, baby.
Oh, God. I can't. Don't you guys wish your team was going to the Super Bowl? Because guess whose are?
Don't ham too much, because there's always next season.
Cacao! Fly, Eagles, fly!